Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this time, allow us to present the result of our discussion of the State Administrative Law course assignment on the principle of good administration. Before that, let me introduce the members of Group 4. First, namely Derestu Ramadhani with student ID 23042-140. Second, Maisyarah Khairi Azakia with student ID 23042-056. Third, M. Akhil Syaputra with student ID 21042299. And fourth, Tamara Angelina with student ID 21042-361. For the first material will be explained by myself. A. Concept of the principle of good administration. First, according to Ridwan HR in State Administration Law, the general principle of good governance are general principles that are used as the basis and procedures for good governance, so that governance is good, polite, fair, honorable, and free from injustice, violation of regulation, act of abuse of authority, and arbitrary action. Second, according to Philippus M. Hajon, the general principle of good governance must be seen as unwritten legal norms that must always be observed by the government. As unwritten legal norms that must always be adhered to by the government, although the exact meaning of the general principle of good governance for each individual situation cannot always be carefully explained. Circumstance cannot always be pinned down with precision. The next material will be explained by M. Akhil Syaputra.
B. Scope of the State Administration Law. The scope of State Administration Law is closely related to the duties and power of state institutions, state administration, both at the central and regional level. The relationship of power between state administrations, state institutions, state administration, and between state institution and citizen, and guarantees legal protection to both, namely to citizen and the state administration itself. Here are some important areas within the scope of state administration law. Number 1, constitutional law. Number 2, administration law. Number 3, civil service law. Number 4, public financial law. Number 5, administrative criminal law. Number 6, administrative civil law. Number 7, environmental law. Number 8, electronic administrative law. E-government. Next, constitutional law is cover the constitution, the structure of government, the division of power between the branches of government, executive, legislative, judicial, and the relationship between the central and local government. Administrative law include rules and procedure that govern the government administrative activities, such as the government administration decision making process lower citizen. Civil service law influence the rules and norms governing the relationship between the government as employer and civil servants or government employees. Public finance law cover the rules and regulation governing public financial management, including budgeting, spending, revenue, and government financial accountability. Administrative criminal law involves violation of the law by government administrator, such of above of power, above of authority. Number 6, administrative law, civil law cover disputes between the government and individuals or companies in an administrative context, such as government contract disputes or challenge to government administrative action. Number 7, environmental law is related to the regulation and protection of the environment by the government, including environmental permits, waste management, and law enforcement against environmental violation. Electronic administrative law regulates the use of information technology in government administration, including data security, privacy, and public access to government service online.
Then, the next material will be explained by Dearestu.
Function of general principles of good governments. According to Jazim Hamidi, as cited by Ridwan HR, the general principle of good governance is, first, a guide for state administrative officials to carry out their function. The second, as the task tool for administrative judges in assessing state administration. Third is the basis for filing a lawsuit for the plaintiff. Meanwhile, according to Ridwan HR, the function of general principle of good government is, first, for the state administration or government, serves as a guideline in interpreting and applying vague or unclear regulation. Second, for the public as a seeker of justice, serves as the basic for a lawsuit. Third, for PTUN judges, it serves as a tool to test and cancel decisions issued by the state administration bodies or officials. The last is for legislative bodies. General principle of good governance can be used in drafting laws. Next, the purpose of general principles of good governance. The purpose of Law Number 30 of 2014 on government and administration is to improve the quality of public service by improving decision-making procedures and preventing acts of abuse of authority in government administration. The state, if obligated to serve every citizen to fulfill their rights and basic needs within the framework of public service, considering that the current level of public service still seems low, high cost and condition of injustice. Finally, demand for the quality of public service were responded to by carrying out bureaucratic reform marked by the issues of Law Number 30 of 2014 concerning government administration.
The next material will be explained by Tamara Angelina.
General principle of state administration. Principle of legal certainty. Next, principle of benefit. Next, principle of impartiality. Next, principle of accuracy. Next, the principle of not abusing authority. Principle of openness, and next is the principle of public interest. principle of service, and then next is the principle of balance. Next, motivational principle of every decision, and then the principle of equality in making decision, and principle of justice and fairness, and then the principle of trust and responding to reasonable expectation. Next, principle of protection, and then the principle of eliminating consequence or an invalid decision. And the last one is principle of wisdom.
And last material about implementation of the principle of good governance. An example of the implementation of the principle of good legal certainty is that policy formulas must be in accordance with applicable laws and comply with constitutional principles. For example, when formulating a new policy related to labor rights, policymakers ensure that the policy does not violate existing labor laws. That's the explanation from our group. Please apologize if there are any mistakes. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.